We are dealing with our topic congruent triangles. In this topic, we have seen or we have learned congruent criteria, and now we are dealing with the point some inequality properties of the triangle. So, related to this point, we are now going to study some theorems. Our first theorem is that if two sides of a triangle are unequal, then the longer side has greater angle opposite to it. Means here in the triangle ABC, if AC is the greater side and AB is the smaller, means AC is the longer side and AB is the smaller side, then the angle opposite to longer side is greater and the angle opposite to smaller side is smaller. So here if AC is greater than AB, means AC is greater than AB, then the angle opposite to AC is greater, that is angle ABC is greater than angle ACB. And we have studied this theorem last time. Now the converse of this theorem is that in a triangle the greater angle has the longer side opposite to it. Means if the angle is greater, then its opposite side is also longer, and if the angle is smaller, then its opposite side is smaller or shorter. So these theorems last time we have seen, and now our next theorem is the sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Means here if triangle ABC, if we consider the triangle ABC and we take for example here AB and AC, AB plus AC is greater than BC, or AB plus AC AB plus BC is greater than AC, or AC plus BC is greater than AB. So if we take any two sum of any two sides, then it will be greater than the length of the third side. So the sum of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the third side. Here ABC is a triangle, any triangle, and here we have to prove that AB plus AC is greater than BC, or AB plus BC is greater than AC, as well as BC plus AC is greater than AB. So for this, or to prove this theorem, here construction is done. Here side BA is produced to AD such that AD equal to AC. Means here if we join CD, then the triangle form ACD is an isosceles triangle in which AD equal to AC. So construction produce BA, side BA to D such that AD equal to AC. Means the new triangle form is an isosceles triangle, and in this way we have to do the construction. Now join CD. Here CD is also joined, and now we will see the proof of this theorem that in a triangle ACD, in a triangle ACD, AD is equal to AC. AD and AC, these two sides are congruent or equal because construction. We have done construction like this, and we know that if the two sides of the triangle are equal, then their opposite angles are also equal. Means angle ADC, which is opposite to AC, is equal to angle ACD, which is opposite to AD. Means angle ADC equal to angle ACD. So here angle ACD, ADC equal to angle ACD, that is angle opposite to equal sides. Now here angle ACD is taken to left side and angle ADC is taken to right side, means angle ACD equal to angle ADC. Now if we add here ACD and these two angles are equal, and if we add ACB or BCA in triangle ACD, then the angle formed will be greater than this angle, means angle ADC. So here BCA, angle BCA plus angle ACD is greater than angle ADC, angle ADC. Or here we know that angle BCA plus angle ACD means angle BCD, angle BCD is greater than angle ADC. So here we have written angle BCD is greater than angle ADC. But here we can write angle BCD is greater than angle BDC. Angle ADC means angle BDC. Only name is changed of the angle D. Means angle ADC can be referred as angle BDC. So angle BCD is greater than angle BDC. Here if we consider the triangle, here we have proved that angle BCD means this angle C is greater, angle is greater than angle D, and if angle C is greater, then its opposite side BD is also greater than this side opposite to angle D, BC. So we can write here BD is greater than BC. Side opposite to greater angle. So in this way, some here BA plus AD, we can write BC. Here BD can be written as BA plus AD. Here we have written BD is greater than BC, but BD can be represented as BA plus AD. So BA plus AD. But we know that AD is equal to AC. So instead of AD or replacing AD by AC, we get BA plus AC is greater than BC, because AD equal to AC by, that is our construction, and therefore BA means AB, AB plus AC is greater than BC. Here we have proved that AB means one side of the triangle, AC is the second side of the triangle. So summation of the two sides is greater than the third side of the triangle. So here AB plus AC is greater than BC, and similarly we can prove that AB plus BC is greater than AC and BC plus AC is greater than AB. So in this way our theorem was that the sum of any two sides of the triangle is greater than the length of the third triangle. And now our second theorem or next theorem is that of all the line segments that can be drawn to a given line, from a point not lying from a point not lying on it, the perpendicular line segment is the shortest. The perpendicular line segment is the shortest. Here L is the line and P is any point which is not lying on line L, means it is away or above the line L and it is from some distance away from the line. And now if we draw the perpendicular to this line L, let PM be the perpendicular and here N be the another line, N be the another point on the line L which is distinct from M, and if we join PN, then it is seen that PN is greater than PM. PN is greater than PM. So here of all the line segments that can be drawn to a given line from a point not lying on it, the perpendicular line segment is the shortest. Means PM is shorter than PN. Here we know that PM is perpendicular, so here angle PMN is a right angle triangle, and if we join PN, then we will get PMN as a right angle triangle. Also we know that if right angle triangle is there, then the longest side of the right angle triangle is the hypotenuse, and we know that the side opposite to right angle is always hypotenuse, means PN is the hypotenuse. So longest side of the right angle triangle is the hypotenuse. Now we will see how to write the theorem here. So first of all we will write the given, that is the information of our figure. So given L is a straight line. So L is a straight line and P is any point not lying on L. So P is a point which is not lying on L. PM is perpendicular to L. Also PM is perpendicular to L. So here angle PMN is 90 degree and N is any point on L. N is any point on L other than M, means M and N are the two distinct points. So to prove, we have to prove that PM is a shorter or less than PN. PM is less than PN and therefore we will write proof. So in a triangle PMN, angle M is equal to 90 degree. Angle M is equal to 90 degree, and we also know that in a right angle triangle, one angle is only a right angle and remaining two angles are acute angles, means less than 90 degree. Here angle P and angle N, both the angles are acute angles and therefore angle N and angle P are less than 90 degree each. So here EM is equal to 90 degree represents angle N. Angle N is less than 90 degree because P and N are acute angles of a right angle triangle PMN. So here angle N is less than angle M. Angle N is less than angle M, and therefore we can say that the side opposite to smaller angle is smaller and side opposite to greater angle is longer, and therefore here angle N means opposite side is PM, it is shorter than the PM. So here we can write PM is less than PN, side opposite to greater angle is larger. So in this way it was our second theorem, and now we have to see one example which is related to these theorems. And now here in an example it is given that in the figure sides LM and LN, sides LM and LN of triangle LMN are extended. These sides are produced to P and Q, respectively, if X is greater than Y. X is greater than Y, then show that LM is greater than LN. Means we have to prove that LM is greater than LN. So here we know that angle PEM and angle LEM, these two angles are linear pair of angles. These two angles are linear pair of angles. Also here LNM, angle LNM plus angle MENQ, these two angles are also linear pair of angles, and therefore the sum of these two angles means linear pair of angles. These two angles must be 180 degree, as well as these two angles, angle LNM plus angle MENQ is also 180 degree. So here we will write angle LMN, this angle plus angle X is equal to 180, equation number 1, that is linear pair of angles. And angle LNM means angle LNM plus angle Y is equal to 180. Again the reason is linear pair of angles. But here it is seen that the RHS, right hand side of both the equations, are equal, means 180 when. So LHS must be equal. So here we can write angle LMN plus X is equal to angle LNM plus Y. Here these two sides are equal, and but it is given that angle X is greater than Y. Here if we consider angle X and angle Y, both here X is greater than Y, means if X is greater and Y is smaller, then automatically angle LNM is greater than angle LMN. Means here we can write angle LMN is smaller than angle LNM, and if LMN is smaller, then its opposite side LN is also smaller, and LMN is here, LNM is greater, so its opposite angle LN is greater, so LN is greater than LN. In this way we have seen the two important theorems and one example here.